Mina worked at a pet shop. One day, the shop owner asked her to deliver a parrot to a zoo that was nearly a day away by road. The next morning, Mina placed the bird in the car and began the journey. She drove through a massive forest. Then suddenly, her GPS malfunctioned. The radio turned to static and shut off. Moments later, the car engine died completely. Mina stepped out of the car. Nothing but endless woods surrounded her. She walked toward a warning board standing near the trees, then returned to the vehicle and found smoke pouring from the engine. With no other choice, she grabbed the parrot and began walking through the forest looking for help. After wandering for a while, she decided to head back, but she couldn't find the road anymore. She walked and walked, but the forest never seemed to end. The sun slowly began to set. Mina tried making a fire when suddenly a swarm of bats flew over her head. She stood up, frightened, ready to leave, but then the ground beneath her began to shake. Through the trees, she spotted someone running. A woman. Mina chased after her. After a long run, the woman suddenly opened a hidden door in the middle of the forest and shouted that if Mina wanted to survive, she had to run now. Mina sprinted forward and entered a strange bunker-like structure called the coop. The woman name is Madeline. Mina didn't understand what was happening. The others inside forced her to stand in front of a large glass wall. They told her she had to let the watchers see her. The four of them stood silently facing the glass. Morning finally arrived. The next day, Mina left the coop hoping to find a way home. She walked for hours, but no matter where she went, she only found more forest. Madeline eventually caught up with her and explained the truth. In these woods, humans were prey. She told Mina the warning boards were arranged in a perfect circle around the forest. If someone reached one of the boards, they could return safely to the coop within half a day. But if they failed to return before dark, they became food for the watchers. That night, Daniel acted out scenes while Ciara danced in front of the glass for the watchers watching outside. The next morning, everyone went searching for supplies. Ciara showed Mina around the forest and told her about her husband, John, who had gone missing 6 days earlier and never returned. Then she showed Mina a massive underground tunnel that stretched beneath the woods, a place where watchers live. Back at the coop, Mina was finally told the rules. Never turn your back to the mirror. Never open the door after dark. Never go near the burrows. Always stay in the light. The night passed. The following day, Mina went out with Daniel. He explained more about life in the forest. When Mina asked if he had ever actually seen a watcher, Daniel admitted he hadn't. Mina started believing Madeline had simply filled everyone's heads with fear and stories. Then Mina decided to break one of the rules. She entered one of the burrows. Using a rope, she lowered herself deep underground. Down there, she discovered human belongings scattered everywhere. She tied the objects to the rope and sent them back up. Then she heard movement in the darkness. Mina froze. A pale hand with 6 fingers slowly emerged from the shadows. The rope dropped down and Mina barely escaped the burrow. Back at the coop, they lied and claimed they found the supplies beneath a rock. Madeline immediately knew they were hiding something. She asked Mina directly whether she had seen anything. Mina lied and walked away. Later, Daniel connected a camera to the television system inside the coop. That night, they placed the camera outside the main door. Then suddenly, banging echoed from outside. On the television screen, they saw someone standing in the darkness. Madeline immediately asked Mina again whether she had broken any rules. Then the voice outside spoke. It was John. Ciara rushed toward the door, but Madeline blocked her path and refused to let her open it. She demanded, Mina finally tell the truth. Mina confessed that she had entered the burrow. Outside, John begged Ciara to let him in. Madeline stopped her and insisted she ask him something only the real John would know. Ciara asked him about a book which she is reading. He didn't know the answer. Then Ciara asked him to step in front of the camera so they could see his face clearly. John sat down before the camera. Then suddenly he vanished. A second later, something smashed the camera. Everyone rushed in front of the glass wall as the watchers outside became aggressive. They slammed against the glass hard enough to put a crack in it. The next day, they returned to the burrow and throw everything back. From then on, Mina began marking trees to map the forest. On the floor of the coop, she slowly created a map using her markings. One day, while Mina and Ciara were outside gathering supplies, they heard shouting nearby. Daniel had tied Madeline up. Then he ran. Ciara chased after him, while Mina freed Madeline. Together, they hurried back toward the coop. But Daniel refused to open the door for them. With darkness approaching, Mina and Madeline ran back into the forest and hid among the trees. Inside the coop, Daniel and Ciara stood before the glass. Outside, Mina and Madeline watched a creature glide silently overhead. It approached the glass and let out a horrifying scream. More watchers appeared from the darkness. Seeing only 2 people inside the coop, the creatures scattered into the woods searching for the others. The moment they disappeared, Mina and Madeline sprinted back and begged Daniel to open the door. He finally let them in. Everyone stood silently before the glass again. That night, Madeline finally revealed the truth about herself. She's a history teacher, and unlike the others, she had entered the forest willingly. Years ago, she had once returned late to the coop. That was when she saw one of the creatures closely for the first time. It looked almost exactly like her. Madeline explained that the Watchers were ancient beings once known as changelings, winged creatures, and fairies. They observed humans constantly, studying them so they could imitate them perfectly. Suddenly, violent banging shook both the glass and the front door. They barricaded the entrance. Then, beneath a rug, they discovered a hidden trapdoor leading underground. As the banging grew louder, they climbed down into the basement. Just as they entered, the glass shattered. Below them, they found an old safety bunker. Mina found a computer. On it, she came across video clips. Mina played the videos. A professor appeared on screen, the man who had originally built the coop. In the recordings, he explained that the Watchers were becoming increasingly better at copying humans. In one video, he admitted he had trapped one of the creatures for study. In another, guilt overwhelmed him. He confessed he planned to kill both the captured Watcher and himself. Then he revealed the way out. All they had to do was follow the birds out of the forest. Before the final recording ended, he instructed whoever found the tapes to destroy all evidence hidden inside his university office. The group decided they would escape the next morning. At dawn, they emerged from the underground shelter. The coop had been completely destroyed overnight. They followed Mina's map until they reached one of the warning boards. Then Mina released the parrot from its cage. The bird flew forward. They followed it. Along the way, they discovered a massive stone lid covered in ancient carvings. Madeline explained that centuries ago, humans and changelings had once fought a war. The changelings were eventually banished deep underground beneath the forest. Then they start to walk again. Rain began pouring heavily as they continued walking. Then suddenly, thousands of bats filled the sky above them. The Watchers were following. After hours of running, they finally reached the shore and found a small boat. They rushed toward it. But Daniel suddenly heard someone calling his name. He turned around. The others continued toward the boat while Daniel disappeared. Moments later, they saw him dragging someone toward them. Ciara screamed immediately that it's not John, but it was already too late. The Watcher attacked Daniel, slashing his leg and then tearing through his throat. As they rowed the boat, thousands of Watchers gathered silently along the shore, watching them leave. The next morning, they reached civilization. Eventually, they returned to the city. Mina traveled to the university pretending to be a relative of the professor. Inside his office, she found a hidden box containing ancient scrolls about fairies and changelings. The texts revealed that humans and fairies had once lived together peacefully. Some human fall in love with the fairies, and have half-blooded children called halflings. The half-blood offspring changed everything. These hybrids possessed incredible transformation abilities, and they can walk in sun. After the war, nobody knew what happened to them. Mina gathered all the evidence. Before leaving, she discovered several old photographs. She immediately went to Kiara. Mina explained she had destroyed most evidence connected to the coup. Then she showed Kiara the photograph. Madeline was standing in it. But according to university records, the real Madeline had died years earlier from lung cancer. Mina realized the horrifying truth. The Madeline they escaped with was never human. It was one of them. As they stood there processing everything, a car pulled up outside. Ciara stepped out of it. Mina immediately understood the woman standing beside her was not the real Kiara. It was a halfling. At that exact moment, the real Kiara walked through the door behind them. The halfling knocks Kiara out. The creature then attacked instantly, knocking Mina violently against the glass. Then the halfling began transforming. First into the professor, then into Mina herself. Finally, it grabbed Mina by the throat. But Mina spoke calmly. She told the creature that unlike the other watchers, it was a halfling. She said there were others like it somewhere out in the world. Then it transformed into its true form. Wings unfolded from its body, and silently, it flew away into the sky.